What's up, guys? Mom Vernon Kid here, back again. Your alpha is here. How's everybody doing on their end? How's my pre-betas, my pre-alphas, and my omegas doing out there? I'm the Geek Lord of New York here. So, first and foremost, guys, I want to apologize for the lateness to this. I know there's some people out there that are probably waiting for me to talk about this. And yeah, gotta talk about this. I feel that it's important to talk about this. And what am I talking about today? I'm giving my thoughts on the first episode of the Black Lightning series. As anybody knows, and if you've been following me since day one, you guys know that Black Lightning is one of my top 10 favorite DC heroes. I've been following this guy and been reading everything this guy has been in, whether it was his own two solo books he's had. They were short-lived, but I read them. Whether he was in the Outsiders, whether he was on the Justice League, seeing him raise his daughters, I was all part of it, and I loved every minute of it. And this series has been in the making for a long time. We've seen this series basically be put on the back burner. It was supposed to be on Fox. Then it got pushed aside. Then it ends up on the CW. Cress Williams, who's done work with the CW and other favorite shows, is now playing Jefferson Pierce. And I'm here to talk about it. And I think it's very important, once again, I said before, to talk about this. So what did I think of this show? What did I think of the presentation? What did I think of the overall experience? Honestly, guys, I loved it. This felt so different than any CW show based on a superhero than ever. I compare it to such grounded series that you could see on Stars or the Netflix Marvel series of the cinematic universe, like Luke Cage and things like that. The other thing I also attribute it to is the people behind it. Samuel Akil, who grew up with the character, who knows the character. So while I was watching this show, I paid close attention to how they were going to portray this character, how Mr. Williams was going to do as the character, and how Nafisa Williams and China, I'm forgetting her last name, how they were going to portray Jennifer and Anissa Pierce, how, I'm forgetting the actress who played his ex-wife Lynn, how she was going to portray, to even how James Remar was going to play Gambi. These characters are a pinnacle part of this character's history. And all I can say is thank you. Thank you for this, because pretty much everybody, this was almost straight out of the comic series. Now, first of all, for anybody who doesn't know, a little bit crash course. Black Lightning was created by Tony Isabella and Trevor N. Von Eden back in 1977. He is a metahuman. Basically, he was born with his powers. They kind of said at first he wasn't, but then later on they said it was. So I'm not sure how they're going to play off his powers in this, but we do see that his power, he has his powers. He's been Black Lightning already. That was a good start right there. He's been Black Lightning. He's retired. He hasn't used his powers in over 9 years. And now he is the principal of Garfield High, which is true in the comic series as well. The only difference in terms of the setting is it's not suicide slums of Metropolis, the South Side. Nobody messes with the South Side. The South Side of Metropolis, which is called Suicide Slums, which is, you could say, is the ghetto of Metropolis. That was the only thing I wish it was Metropolis, Suicide Slums, but they call it Freedomville or something like that. Correct me on that. And I was cool with that. You know, I let that comic side of me go. Okay, let that go. But I loved how the presentation of Jefferson's powers were. It kind of built it on emotion. Like when he got angry, you saw, like, I love how they presented that of his powers. Like his eyes glue, and you heard like the surging of electricity going through the air. It was really good. I really enjoyed that. Um, but you can see that he is a man now who left that behind him to focus on the future, our kids of the community, and hope for the community in a different manner, being the principal. Seeing that, I instantly thought of principals I had back in the day from high school to middle school. I had principals like that cared about the students, cared about what went on in the school grounds, cared more about keeping the children of the school safe from the outside, and let those bad elements on the outside keep being a sense of, that's out in the streets. Don't let me worry more about that. And we saw that in this episode. We saw that. But we're starting to see that while the hero is down, darkness is rising. The 100 gang, which is the real gang in the series, in Black Lightning's realm, led by Tobias Whale, is running havoc, man. It's all over the place. You can't, and we see that Jefferson is kind of not looking at it like that. But his daughter, his oldest daughter, Anissa, excuse me. I was about to say Jennifer. Anissa, she's taking more of a stand on it by going to rioting, going to protesting and things like that, getting arrested. And to Jefferson, he doesn't like that. He doesn't like that at all. While Jennifer, his youngest daughter, is kind of like, she doesn't like to be looked at as being the kind of the good girl. She's kind of in between, in her battle between being the daughter of Jefferson Pierce, who was this former Olympian, and who comes back to his community to do good, and she is the, like, almost like the privileged child, like anybody who has that, anybody who has that kind of feel from any child of an actor, famous actor, you could see that in a standpoint. Like, she doesn't want to be that. She doesn't like to be called that. Things like that. She wants to be kind of like, well, that's one side of me, but this is the real me. So she's got an inner turmoil inside of her. That's good. That's real good. And the family dynamics, so better than what you've seen in other shows. The only thing I can maybe somewhat compare to, is maybe the way how the way Flash is with his father, and and the West family and things like that. That's the only way I can look at it, somewhat. But you see that Jefferson cares about his daughters, and that's the thing he wants to keep safe throughout anything. He cares too much about them. Those are his gems. Those are what he cares about. Any father out there, especially any black father, can understand that. And I put the emphasis on black because here on the CW, the black heroes are not represented too well, or not showcased in the manner that they're supposed to be, how they're portrayed in the comics. You look at Mr. Terrific. That's, Mr. Terrific. That's not Mr. Terrific. Another one of my favorite DC heroes. Not looked at. So this time we have a strong central black hero who's also a father trying to protect his family. And we see what kind of got him out of that. But you see that he has a lot of stroke in the community. People look at him as a guiding light, a guiding factor. Even people who went to Garfield High kind of still look at him that. But there are still some that, like, you know what, that's what you do, but when you're in my world, this is what I do. And it was kind of interesting to see that. But when we see Black Lightning, what brings him out of retirement, it makes perfect sense. What brings him out of retirement? His daughters. His daughters get kidnapped by the 100 gang, and it's time for him to return back to being the defender of this community. So he goes back to Gamby, played by James Remar, and who's been working on a new costume for him. We get to see the old costume in the series, but now we get to see this new costume, which is fine. Seeing it in motion looked better. The fight choreography was pretty dang good, for my taste. You know, it's not subpar up to like a real, but just seeing how Jefferson fights when he's close quarters, he uses hand-to-hand combat. When he's at a distance or he just wants to move real fast, he uses his powers. The way he uses his powers, very simple to how Black Lightning should use his power. He's not pouring on every much of his powers because he could kill somebody if he wanted to, but you're seeing he's kind of holding back. We also see that his new goggles can go darken, so nobody can really see his eyes, and he has like a voice modulator that can give him a sense of like his voice is deepening, even though it's still like you can't tell that's Jefferson Pierce. But there are certain things of this series that also caught my eye. We saw Jill Scott in this, but we didn't see her we always saw her from the backside, because even though he's trying to reconcile and maybe get back together with his ex-wife Lynn Stewart, who some people think is maybe the related to Jon Stewart. There's all these videos that says they're connected. I'm just gonna leave that up in the air. But there seems to be someone who is kind of wants to get close with him. But we kind of see Jill Scott's character. She's gonna be in the show. She's playing a character from the Black Lightning world. I'm forgetting her name right now. But we do kind of get to see a little bit of her. We get to see Tobias Whale. And Tobias Whale, for all those who don't know, he's kind of the kingpin of the DC universe. He's big, just like Kingpin, but he's more big in mass and not muscle, like Kingpin. Kingpin's more muscle than mass, Tobias Whale. But he leads the 100 gang, and he is the one that supposedly said he killed Black Lightning. But now that Black Lightning, rumors are getting around that Black Lightning's back. Yeah, it's starting to get out there. But I also want to talk about, I believe, Mr. Roland Smith. Correct me on his name. I think I botched his name. I apologize for that. He goes on record to say that Black Lightning is not the only hero in this world. So right there and then, already I'm starting to wonder, who are the other heroes in this world? As of right now, this world does not have an Earth number. We don't know if it's, as of right now, it's not said it's going to be, he's going to connect with the other Earths or other heroes. Right now, that's not the important thing right now. Like, oh, what Earth number is this? Will he cross over with the other heroes? Right now, that's not important. Establish this world right now, just like they did with Supergirl. They established that world first, then transitioned into crossing over. Right now, focus on that. And I just enjoyed the presentation of this. I was watching this and I just kept saying to myself, man, if 12-year-old Chris was watching this with me, he would probably be crying or just loving it, because seeing another one of his favorite heroes brought to life in such a positive manner, something that we need. We need to see characters of color in a positive way, in a main factor of, yes, here's another hero, and hopefully, and this is a good trend that's going to keep going. We're getting Black Panther next month. Keep it going. Let's keep it going, people. Can you not agree with me on that? But I very much enjoyed this. And the ending, already we're seeing hints of Anissa developing her own metahuman powers. Now, for those who are not familiar with Nissa Pierce, Thunder, her powers work density. It's density control. Like, she can control her density, and the point of impact that she hits you with is that force of density, that she can put that much force into it. So she kicks you, so you're probably getting kicked by, it felt like the density force of an 800-pound person hitting you. And it's like a force of impact that boom will hit you back. And it also gains her strength as well. We do know that Anissa's lover, Grace Choi, the big Amazon, Korean Amazon or Asian Amazon, will be in the show. So I'm looking forward to that in the future. I'm wondering, will she be a metahuman too? Will she have her powers? Or will she just be... I hope they do make her a metahuman, that she is a metahuman, and I hope they do like maybe some special effects to make her taller than she is. Hopefully next will be Jennifer. Jennifer will definitely come down the ladder, you know, because she has more of like daddy's powers. But this was such a great presentation. The first episode really gave me a good sense of hope that, yes, here we go. I loved it, guys. I couldn't be more happier. To Mr. Samel Akil and everybody who worked on the show, thank you for this. This was great. This truly shows you understand this character. And to any fans out there who loves Black Lightning, wanted Black Lightning to succeed, I feel that we got it. We got it. They nailed it in that first episode. Nobody messes with the South Side. And for all those guys out there, you guys tell me in the comment section below, what did you think? And as well, do you want me to continue reviewing or giving my thoughts on the episodes of this series? Because I think it's 13 episodes as of right now. Do you want me to continue? Because I've taken a break from giving my thoughts on the CW shows like Supergirl and Flash for this season. I'm not doing it this season. But if you want me to continue, please tell me in the comment section below. If not, hey, I may still do it anyway because I think it's needed. But other than that, guys, this is Mount Vernon Kid saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real. What did you think of the show? I loved it. I'm looking for your opinions as always. Y'all take care.